And then what about your boy Melo? He also an 03
I
guy.
think honestly, I think he's the toughest one to have the conversation around because he
Same.
really was balling out in Denver. He was killing in Denver. Like he was
Yeah.
battling LeBron for Rookie of the Year his first year. Like some people still say he should have won it. So for us to be 11 years removed from that and still people like, nah, bro, Melo won MVP. I mean, he won Rookie of the Year. So for him to do that, go head to hand against Kobe in the playoffs a couple times, and then he shifted to New York, like you said, the 2010s, and him to do what he did there and revive New York basketball. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I have to look up the stats now because and see what he did in each one. It's kind of like Kobe with the jersey. Like which number would you play? Like if you had to pick one, who would win? Yeah,
8 and
so
24.
Melo's almost like that. Do you pick Denver Melo? Let's do that, man. Would you have Denver Melo or New York Melo?
Progress is not about perfection and being perfect. It's about making growth no matter what. It's about pushing yourself to the limit and beyond those limits. Every challenge that comes your way, you're overcoming them. And it's about striving to become more and doing more. Every single step, every single day, every single dribble is a victory. You've won as long as you're making progress. Because progress is the only goal. So invest into that progress, invest into that dream. Get yourself a reminder that progress is the only goal.
That's a tough one.
Ooh,
That's a tough one. That's
that is
ooh.
tough. New York Melo holds a special place in my heart because I got more memories of New York Melo than Denver Melo. But I don't know. I feel like he was a little more athletic in Denver because he's a little younger, little lighter. He could jump higher, stuff like that. But New York Melo, I feel like he was the one get you 50 ball. You know what I mean? He might get you 50. I think I'm taking New York Melo. I got him in front of me now. He 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 was only an All Star 3 times in Denver, 4 times technically, but one of them was in the 2010s. So I guess we can't count that one. But he was an All Star every year in New York, every year
Mm.
until he started bouncing around the league. Unfortunately. But I mean, I kind of feel bad because the same thing I said about Wade, I'm almost like going the opposite direction with Melo because he started bouncing around the league at the end of his stay in New York. Because he left New York in 2016, 2017. That's when he went to OKC. He went to OKC. He was still playing well with Russ and PG in them. Remember, he still played pretty good, average 16. He went, not bad at all. Still played 78 games. Then he went to Houston. Was only there for like a Coke and a smile and left. And there went to Portland. Portland was like he coming off the bench. He's 6 man. Uh, then but he played in Portland 2 straight years, and then we ain't even got to talk about the Lakers. So yeah, but as far as the 2010s go, I think the only bad year he really had in the 2010s was the year in Houston. That was 2018, 2019. Which is the last year of the decade. So I think Melo can go 2010s. He had the most All Stars 2010s, the most accolades, All NBAs, all that good stuff.
Oh, this is so tough, bro. Like I ain't think about it till we sit here and talk about it now, man. Like I'm looking at his stats, man. He played 8 seasons
Yeah,
in Denver, 7 seasons in New York. This man averaged 24.8 in Denver and 24.7 in New York.
that's crazy.
Like this man giving you 25 in both spots in one less season. So dang, I'm looking at the stats and it's pretty much identical on everything. Like it might be a point here and there or like I don't think anything's dramatically over a point difference with most of his stats. Like it's 1.1 and then like okay, rebounds. He had 6.3 in Denver and then 7 in New York. Like it's crazy, man. He averaged 3.1 assists and then 3.2 assists. Like it's
Yeah,
hairs the
bro.
difference, man. So I This is tough. I want to say Denver because he had tougher matchups that he had to go against every night being in the East. I mean, being in the West. And I think he had one Denver team that had a solid chance to go and win. The New York team, this is tough, man. I gotta say Denver, man. I gotta say Denver.
I like New York. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little biased though, like I said. But he got more All Star appearances in New York. Like he was more. I think he was just more established. Obviously, New York get a little more media coverage, all that good stuff.
I think that plus he in the East.
But
Like
that
no
too.
shade to the East, but at the same time, like come on, we all know the Western been dominating things for years. So I think
Yeah,
West
for sure.
Coast, Denver, going against Kobe and all those guys he had to go against night after night. I'll say that Melo is a little bit better for me. I think he probably had one for sure year in Denver. We're looking at he could have made a run for a championship, and I think we probably had 2, maybe 3 years in New York. We was like he could probably make a run and do some stuff, but oh man, that's a good one, man. New York, Denver.
Yeah, I
I
ain't
ain't
thinking
thinking about
about that
to
either.
this moment here. New York, Denver, New York Melo or Denver Melo. That's a good one, man. So, for the sake of this conversation, we gotta put him somewhere. And because I know where it's going to head, I'm gonna put him in 2010s. Cause and you guys will see why at the end. But
I mean, you can pretty much guess
yeah,
why.
it gets ugly. But yeah, throw him in the 2010s for taking this conversation. So, last guy that we're going to discuss, we got to go back to position stuff too. I forgot one player, but last guy I want to discuss is CP3Z.